Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, partly in the sun and also partly lurking in the shadows here as a recording of this November 19th, a Sunday, 2023. I am walking down Water Street, going to be connecting with Market Street, where each and every Sunday they do a farmer, flea, and art market. It has a technical name, but that's what I refer to it as because they have an assortment of different vendors out. Usually they block off Market Street for said event that happens every Sunday for a few hours. But today, that event is not going to be happening on Market Street, nor will it be happening through the course of the holiday season because they have blocked off the road up there for the holidays. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and I'm inviting you to join me for a day in celebration. And I have been here for 3 years. Moved into my place 3 years ago, during the holiday season 3 years ago, but there's a little asterisk on that because one of those years I was coast to coast. I had a place in Anaheim, so you could kind of 2 years, if you will. And I travel a lot, so not here all the time, but I'm here a pretty good chunk of the time. 3 years, 2 years, full-time having a place here because I gave up my place, the second place, the coast to coast place in Anaheim, in November of 2021, I believe it was. So it's been a couple of years. And I am going to give a tour of my accommodations here, of my place, of my apartment. I've never shown the inside. I'm doing it today. Join me. Shall you? Bicyclist starts to shift. The dog is chasing the bicyclist, which is known to happen. You're riding a bike around town, except there's probably a leash law here, so there's probably just not going to be a random dog chasing people, unless that is the bicyclist dog, which according to the logo of the town, that's what it is. And I'm basically just stalling by saying random words because I don't want to hit the edit until the bicyclist moves. But it's all about timing. It's all about how you approach the clock, whether it be halfway through. Oh, there's someone on a motorized bike over there, and an electric skateboard. I feel like if I was on an electric skateboard, I would probably break a shin. Oh wow. It was like a full 60 seconds. It didn't even move. Oh, I think it did move. It moved while I was looking at the bicycle. One day I'd like to own one of those. Oh, that's a dirt bike. Not the dirt bike. I don't want to own a dirt bike. I want to own one of those fancy, I think they call them NEVs, electric vehicles. They're like modified, glorified golf carts. How freaking cool would it be to have one of those cruising around town? I'm getting ET vibes. Maybe they're running from a guy who has keys. So instead of being on Market Street, they have all the vendors stretching here down right near the lakeshore, which a lot of times they stretch over this way too, but they just kind of had to modify it just a little bit because all of this is going to be blocked off for the next 6 weeks or so. Someone's waving down there. It is a little warm too. I'm not getting the holiday vibes today. It's got to be 80 degrees out here. Close enough. It's 77. It's going to get up to 78. That's pretty close. Holiday decor over here on this side. Stretching through here. Everybody got their dogs and pets and animals out. One thing I love about this town is how many events they do. They just do so many activities, like all year, just constantly things going on. There are a lot of people out today. It is a very busy day out here. Look at this. Yeah, it even stretches all the way over this direction, over here by the Columbia restaurant. Picked up a piping hot caffeinated beverage from one of the local vendors here at Carver Coffee and Tea, which I have frequented many occasions during this. So I get Starbucks a lot of times, but when there's an event going on, I try to get utilize the local vendors. Established in 1994, all the manholes there show the date it started. Yeah, usually there's a stretch all the way over here to Sycamore. This is Sycamore Street and Front Street, which connects with Market Street down that way. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I love living here. Except I do miss Howard the Decoy Duck that used to be in the place of that PVC pipe right there. Kind of wish they'd bring Howard the Decoy Duck back. Also, I saw some people walking by and they thought there was a koi fish in here. And I was like, why the heck is there a koi fish in Lake Reinhardt? It's not a koi fish. Doesn't it look like a koi fish? They were cones. It's a traffic cone in the water. And I've, stated this before, but I really wish that the theater was open. It's been closed 11 years, and I really wish that someone would kind of take over the operation and get the thing back open. That'd be really nice here for the residents. It's also kind of interesting to see Cool out. Cool's usually out, but he is like over against the wall over in the corner. I'm just like waiting for someone to say hello to him over there in the corner. All I can think of is the Billy Madison quote. You fallen in love with the wall or something? And I, for one, am pretty dang excited about the Snope will be rearing its head. And I think like a week or so from now, finally, the Snope will be falling on Market Street. It's always a good time down here. Hope it cools down a little bit though before that. Now I noticed the other day they were delivering these sheds over here, which I am guessing have some holiday decor, and appears as if they are building a freaking gingerbread house. Well, it's not. It's like looks kind of like a gingerbread house, but it's really just made out of like wood or something like that. All right, I'm now inside my apartment. Starting off here with the tiki that I got at Oceanic Arts a few years ago. I'm glad I bought this from Oceanic Arts. Oceanic Arts is now closed. And I'm thankful enough to have a hand-carved tiki from Oceanic, based out of Orange County, California. I got a lot of mementos in my place from Orange County. I got this little love seat here, which has kind of seen better days. Right here, I'll put my remotes. I got my bicycle over there in the corner, which I need to take out. I might take that out this evening and ride it around. I need to put a little air in the tires as well. And just to kind of give the vibes of Americana, I chose behind my couch over there. I went with a photograph of an old barn with the American flag. I thought it was appropriate because I do like doing road trips and things like that. Lamp over in the corner above the bicycle here. And I got a photograph of my sister and her husband and my mom and dad. And right down here, this WDW Retro my friend Tiki J gave to me years ago. Has the Magic Kingdom on there and all the other ones. And you got the lamp there. I can't remember where I bought that lamp. A little motion detector there in the corner, kind of wedged up there. Got Alfred there above the TV. You got James Dean on the TV. Had Rebel Without a Cause on, or at least in the Blu-ray player. Got my 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, windbreaker, and then all the other assorted things there on the coat racks. So this is kind of interesting. So down here you got, of course, you got the Orange Bird. This is my Blu-ray collection here. I got probably 95% are Blu-rays, very few DVDs. The only DVDs I really have are ones I have signed, by some of the people that are in the movies, or if they're DVDs that haven't been released yet on a proper Blu-ray yet, but real big on Blu-rays. I like physical media. A lot of horror stuff, a lot of 80s stuff. Definitely a lot of different items. I got the Married with Children, Three's Company, Dukes of Hazzard, the original series of Star Trek, and then also this version of Back to the Future Blu-rays there, which is really great. And then I got some different items that I've got. There's a Randotti skull there. And of course I got Howard the Duck down there. And then this is like a super, super rare item, which I've kind of showed this before. I guess now you could probably get them on eBay, but it used to be pretty hard to find. Back to the Future Snow Globe. And a DVD player, again, the Orange Bird. This I really like. I picked this up at the Farmer Flea and Art Market, not today, but months and months ago, probably a year ago. I purchased this from this artist. Hubert is his name. He's got his name here. And this is basically his artistic rendition of Market Street. In fact, you see the Market Street clock right here, and you see the town logo. You got the dog, the mascot there, then you got the girl riding the bike. She's kind of dangling on there. And I always assumed that this was a representation, his representation, artistic representation of the silent film, I believe it was Harold Lloyd, that was dangling from the LA clock. So kind of always thought that that was it. So then you pan this way and you got the hallway right here. My room's down at the end, and you got the little bar style looking into the kitchen here. And I got my book here from this year that I filled up completely with, you know, events that I have done. It's easier for me to keep track to have a hard copy book, and I write down, you know, it's a calendar basically inside of there. I know you keep a lot of stuff on your phone, but I choose to have everything also in a book when I'm going to be traveling, flights, what hotel I'm staying at, what rental car I'm renting, things like that. It just makes it a lot easier when I'm seeing it in front of me than just trying to go full digital. I probably need to have more room for magnets. I was thinking maybe getting like a sheet of metal that I could put magnets on instead of trying to cram more on the fridge, because the fridge is definitely filled up over time. Hey, just, you know, just a small little kitchen here. Got the oven, got the Keurig over there where obviously I make coffee if I'm not getting one. A little piping hot caffeinated beverage inside of there. And I have a lot of different K-Cups in here. Got the McCafe, you got the Tim Hortons here, you got some more Carver coffee K-Cups that I got earlier. Got a little Bucky blend there. You got the Joffrey's up top, and then you even got some more intense stuff over here if you need a little extra caffeine with the Death Wish coffee there. And a few mugs that I don't really use. And then up top there, you got the 50th anniversary coffee, and then of course the monorail up top as well. This is the mug I use pretty much all the time. If I am drinking coffee at home, I'm using this mug. It's just a little bit bigger size-wise than some of the ones that are on this little mug tree here. The You Are Here or the You Are There. I do have the Hollywood Studios one, and I do have Florida one. I got quite a few. I got quite a few of those, but it doesn't really make sense to have a ton of mugs. I've kind of stopped buying mugs just because you only need one cup to drink out of. And down here you got the little pad that you could put the, you know, say the little burning pad that you could put like a pot on. Don't really cook a whole heck of a lot at home. In fact, never, unless it's something quick in the microwave. I also like this. It's kind of, this little butterfly always kind of makes me happy. And then the talking Mickey. And I've had this at all the different homes that I've been in. You know, I would consider this a home so much, but a small apartment. But I had this when I lived in Anaheim, and I had the place in Anaheim. I had this above the oven as well. Kind of like the quote of it, work hard and be nice to people. You got the cutting board. I got my Elvis little pot holder there for the stove. And then I got my cups up here. Well, I got some Tupperware, microwavable stuff and non-Tupperware stuff. Then you got some glasses here, Teen Wolf mug. I got my Montgomery biscuits, which is the Ray's farm team. They're 1A team, or 2A team. They're 2A team. And you got my Ray's merch, or Ray's cups as well. And then over here, a lot more magnets. I just way too many magnets. I got to figure out a new thing to do with magnets. At some point, I'm going to figure out a new game plan with magnets. Some of the kind of rare ones is the Save Splash Mountain. Also, Yankee in the South over there, but you got Save Splash Mountain. And then you got, you know, you got a bunch of just different ones. I like this one here that Tom from WWNT gave me a long time ago. Well, I think that was actually almost 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago now. At one of the anniversaries of Studios. This was is a rare one to find. Disney did not put this out. This was made almost exactly like all the pass holder magnets, but I got this at the Big Orange back in 2020. You can't find that anymore, so that's a rarity. And then here's a lot of places I've been, and you know, just filling up considerably. And just to show how much food I keep on hand, ready for this? This is my fridge on a normal basis. Nothing. Sometimes there'll be bottles of water in here, but very rarely do I even use bottles of water, because what I'll do is I'll just fill this up from the ice and water machine this thing called a Bubba tub, Bubba glass. That is what I usually use to drink out of. I just drink water all day out of that. And then I got my headphones here, my Bluetooth headphones, and of course my Magic Band, which was charging, but it just fell off the chargers. But you get the idea. Always have a little creamer here, put a tiny bit of creamer in there. And you got the Ballpark mustard, which is one of my favorite mustards. I mean, I do like yellow mustard, but my buddy Spore and Ryan turned me onto this when we went to the Rays and Guardians postseason game, not last year, or not this year, but the year before. We went up to Cleveland, and then I got some of the mule sauce when I was ordering and giving away all those stickers. I ordered so many different stickers that I just have way too much mule hot sauce. What is this? Oh, that's like it's a cold, not a piping hot, but a cold. This thing's been sitting in this tray for like a year. Got the flamingo up top, a little yard art flamingo that I put up on top of the cabinets there. I would like to get the Epcot spaceship Earth that you see in the gift shop, the ceramic one, and maybe stick it up next to there. Maybe I'll do that at some point. Then I got the Idol Worship right there, and every place I've ever lived, starting with a place I had in St. Cloud, even before I quit my job at the feed store and moved into the van, I had a Kit Kat clock. And I think I've gone through 3 or 4 of these, and sometimes I'll take it when I move, and then sometimes when I sell off all my possessions when I move from place to place, which I've done a few times in my tenure here on Earth, I will always end up buying one of these battery powered. It's hard to find them with the cords. In Back to the Future there was a corded one, but it's hard to find the cords. And then of course I love Elvis. I was born in Tupelo, so I really love this, called Reflections of a King. And you got Elvis, young Elvis from Tupelo, looking in the mirror there in his birth home. And you got, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Then you got his mom and his dad up there with Elvis. So I really treasure this. And it was hand signed by the artist, Ronnie McDowell, who not only is a gifted artist, but also a gifted singer, and honored Elvis when he passed away. Wrote a really famous song about Elvis. And I think it ended up hitting the charts. It was very popular. You should check it out. Just look up Ronnie McDowell, Elvis, and listen to his rendition. He is the one who drew this and signed it for me. His work is right here in the hallway. It goes, there it goes, focusing. And then you got washer and dryer in here, closet right here with, I got my Big Thunder Mountain thing in there. My sister gave me for Christmas last year. And there's going to be got some flashing lights in here because I have Metroid on inside on the old school TV down in here. And then in here's the restroom, but you know what a restroom looks like with the shower and all that. The flickering there of the lights going through the fan, the ceiling fan. A buddy in Las Vegas, that screen print company, he ended up printing this for me because I always loved this photograph of Walt Disney walking through what was going to be the front of the castle at Disneyland, but when they built it backwards, so they just left it like it was. But this originally was going to be the front, now it's the back, so Walt is walking into Fantasyland, dare I say the better Fantasyland, better than Walt Disney World's Fantasyland, even though I prefer Disney World in a lot of ways than Disneyland. That is definitely one of the exceptions there. And this is where I sleep, because this is where the magic happens. This is where I sleep. Sometimes the magic happens, but you know what I'm saying. Dawn of the Dead over there. Signed and autographed by most of the cast, if not all the cast. Even some who are no longer with us anymore. Got all, this is a little bit of disarray. Pay no attention to the disarray that's up here on the side. But you got all my Rays caps, which I need to organize better. I need to get like a better hat rack type of thing. I got some of the bobbleheads up there. I got Randy Rosarina and Brandon Lau. I even got Wander up there, which I don't know. I should probably, I don't know. I don't know if Wander should be up there anymore. I don't even know if he's going to be on the team anymore. And then I got some Return of the Jedi stuff. I got some Figment stuff. I got my printer over here, which I really hardly ever even use anymore. I got a bass amp down here. Got my pins up there. I always like a little circulation going on in the room, so I usually have a fan on as well. I got the mirror over there that I look at myself, my unpresentable self, as I'm going out every morning. I got the Corridor crew of goons up top there, which friend Justin Scard and I started the Corridor crew of goons, which is at the top. Fun fact, this is the recreation of the actual sign that's at the very top of the castle. When you go up, you can walk to the side, walk up some stairs, you go up here, and that is where the Corridor crew, of course I have the creaky floors down here because of the, you know, this age has set into the place that I'm at. So that's the corridor of goons. And I got Abraham Woobraham. Remember Woobraham Lincoln? There he is, right there. Woobraham Lincoln. And a piece of the wallpaper that the gentleman who lives in the Edward Scissorhands house in Lutz, Florida gave me. And then I got a fast pass from the very last day. No, the 50th anniversary, not the last day. The 50th anniversary of Mansion. August 9th, 2019. Of course, Mansion opened in August 9th of 2069. My friend Daphne and I up there. My Nintendo games down here. I got this piece of artwork a long time ago. I don't even remember where I got it, but it's really cool. It's got Marty McFly, played by Michael J. Fox, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And of course, I got all my autographs there for my Back to the Future poster. I got pretty much the whole cast. There's a couple people I don't have that are in the movie for just a brief moment, but I got all the main players signed up there as well. I've had this black cat for a long time. I always put it up in every place. I had it up in Hollywood. I had it up in Anaheim. And of course, this was on my RV, Large Marge, right there. My good friend Jason, who runs the Woovians Facebook group, King Woovian, some call it. There's a Facebook group that he started years ago. I think it's still running, but he painted that for me, and I've had it ever since. He came to visit me when I lived in Orange back in 2015, before I even moved to Hollywood and then back down to Anaheim. Of course, you got Lincoln Hawk. It's like a switch from over the top. Got the flux capacitor here. I got this from Mardi Gras. This is from Universal Hollywood here. They used to sell it in Wizarding World. 13X Studios gave me this, which is supposed to be a hockey mask that looks like me, and it really kind of does look like me. Just doesn't have a raise cap on. I always like these metal wind-up. I love metal wind-up little like gizmos like that. Some Andy Griffith stuff. I mean, I have a bunch of Disney pins, books. This is kind of like my quote-unquote library, if you will. I just collect I have a lot of stuff in boxes in the closet too. This is a Bible my dad gave me here. It's like a study Bible. And here is some of the pop figures. Here I got Figment, I got Scott Howard Teen Wolf, I got Leota from the Mansion, and I got the Star Trek Gorn figure there as well. A lot of stuff really nice people have given me over the years. I am Ravenclaw, so I have my little Ravenclaw pin here, my Ravenclaw lanyard right on there as well. No closet inside there. Oh, here's the NES games that I own. If you want to kind of take a gander at those, I got the Duck Hunt thing. Oh, I also got the little, they don't call it a magic band, like the slap bracelet magic band from the opening when they opened up Super Nintendo World in California. I was there for that. It was pretty dang awesome. Some of these stickers that are on the side of these have moved with me many times. Many times some of these stickers have made commutes from coast to coast. There's kind of some deep cuts in here. Look at this right here. A little shout out to Roscoe Soul Train. A little shout out to Jeff Heimbuck. Right there. Really great band, Flamingo Nosebleed, and then the Muffs, Kim Shattuck, or Kim Shattuck. She passed away a few years ago. Man, it really made me sad. Like one of my favorite pop punk bands. She was definitely gone way too soon. Got Metroid there on the front. You got the DeLorean, of course, Dragon Con. This is the carpet from Dragon Con, the original Marriott carpet, which has been changed, no longer exists, but I got that little souvenir. I went to Dragon Con 10 years in a row, and I stated last year I will not be going this year, so I'll be skipping year 11 and just taking a little bit of a break. I need to kind of rejuvenate my love of Dragon Con. This last year, I felt a decade solid without missing a year, that it was just almost like too much, and it was just I need to take a little break, so I'm not going to be going in 2024. Not saying I'll never go again, but gotta skip at that time. But I love this. Someone gave me this a few years ago when I was there. They're like, you want a piece of the original Marriott carpet? I go, yes, I do. This is probably one of, I don't want to say one of my prized possessions, but this is one of my favorite things that I got many years ago. A buddy of mine was like, hey, I got something for you. I know how much you love the Contemporary, and I have something as a birthday present. Was going through Vegas, had dinner, and he goes, I got something for you. This is back when I had Large Marge, the RV. So I didn't do anything this was for a long time because I didn't have anywhere to put it. But I just had it rolled up in the RV, and he was like, take a look at this. This is amazing. I've always kind of wanted to get this as a tattoo where you got the Contemporary and you got the monorail going through it. But these, you can see these, they don't even have them anymore. When you first walk in to the Contemporary Resort, you can see them. Of course, I got my shoes down here. And then over here, well, next to the 100,000 subscribers, not even for the TheDailyWoo channel, but for the Adam the Woo channel. So the TheDailyWoo channel, when it hit 100,000, I kind of dropped the ball on it, and I didn't end up getting a hold of YouTube and giving me a shipping address. So I only have one of these, even though I do have 2 channels. This was the first one, and this was the one I was most proud of because that was the first time I hit 100K, and I was like, man, that is really cool that many people went out of their way to hit subscribe for that channel. Let's take a look at the pins. So these are ones I have traded for. A couple of them I bought, but a lot of them I traded for. Certain ones I bought, but I would say half of these I traded for by just having pins that were worth a little bit less and just searching around and would trade off a cheaper pin and then trade for something nicer. But certain ones, like when I visited this Walt Disney Studios, I was given this when I went into Walt's office. So that's kind of like a rare one. But I like to collect Figment ones. I like to collect Toads, a lot of Toads. Splash Mountains, I got quite a few Splash Mountains. I got a few Star Wars, including the Halcyon there, the Galactic Star Cruiser. I even got a Dragon Con pen down there. I got some of the resorts I stayed at, a Black Hole. I got a couple that I probably need to trade off, because I got duplicates of. But these are not all the pins I have. I have a lot in a bag that are still carded. Now what I'd like to do at some point is get a larger one of these, a bigger one of these, that I could put more pins on. But you can see, just like my fridge, this is getting pretty full. I love pin trading though, it's so much fun. And not gonna go into too much detail on the books, but these are some of the ones I have. These are some of the things I've read and collected over the years. I do have a lot. I love this series here, which has almost everywhere you go in the US will have one of these books as a series kind of going through here, and this is no exception. So there's one on Paramount, got one on Hollywood. I'm fascinated by Hollywood. I even have one on Gatlinburg. You can learn a lot through these books. And then you got some of the stuff I recently bought. You also got the diary from Indiana Jones, the Grail Diary right here, which is amazing. So I have that. Some good Epcot books down here. A lot of stuff about Americana, some D23 stuff, some weird USA stuff, some Erie stuff, Erie Appalachia stuff, Erie Florida stuff. A lot of Back to the Future stuff kind of wedged down in there too. And then boxes full of stuff that I don't even really have out on display as well. But there's just kind of stuff all layered in here. I'm not going to dig all through that and bore you. But yeah, I've had this Mickey back scratcher for as long as I can remember. Really great. And then over in the corner, I got the Wonder Boy bat. A good friend Jordan the Lion had made for me because he knows I love baseball and the natural. And Jordan made this for me a year or two ago, and I gotta say I love it because I love the movie The Natural. Yeah, probably my favorite baseball movie. I mean, I love Field of Dreams too, but something about The Natural just gets me every time. Yeah, so that's it. My glorified storage shed, I like to call it, because I store stuff here, yet I stay here. But a lot of times I'll be gone for such long periods of time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, sometimes even up to 6 weeks. Especially this year and last year, I've been gone, 2023, 2022, I was probably gone more than I was here. So it's like a storage shed. However, utilities are on, water's on, so when I return, all I gotta do is crawl in the bed, everything's in its place. I'm gonna sit right here, have a snack, watch a Blu-ray. You know, sometimes I think, does it even make sense to have a place? I think the answer is yes, because it is good to come back, detach for a short while, do things you are very familiar with at home, and then head back out on the road. Well, there you go, the Woo Cave. I never really had a name. I never thought about it because I've never really featured it before. But now I'm showing. Now I'm showing the spot. All right, now I'm going to jump on the bike. Well, I'm going to put some air in the tires first because it's probably been a month since I rode this. And I'm going to ride around Celebration for the evening. A little bit of time has gone by from earlier when I was out walking around drinking the coffee and stuff till now. A lot of time passed. I had some stuff I had to do during the day. And so I kind of filmed a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the night. Skipped a little portion of the day, put the camera down and did some personal stuff. Yeah, it feels good to be back on the bike. Get a little pedaling in. Had to put quite a bit of air in the tires because the definitely needed it. So this is interesting. I've never seen this before here in Celebration where people put out cones to block off a parking spot. The parking does get pretty wild down here sometimes. I think I recently saw the Philly Captain, a buddy up in Philly. He was doing a video on how some of the residents will put out cones. People from the city that work for the city will go by. If they see a cone, they just grab it because they don't want people saving spots. First time I've ever seen a cone like that in Celebration. It was a little warm today, I gotta be honest. It was a little toasty, but it has cooled down a lot now. Now, and nightfall has reared its head, the shroud of nightfall. Definitely feels a lot better out here, nice. I'm gonna say it's cool and crisp, but it definitely feels a lot better than it was earlier today when the sun was out, like permeating. Just rolling through downtown Celebration. The post office over here. And one thing I love about this house is every holiday, nearly every single holiday, they put decorations up. So you see, it's not Christmas yet, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, and they are appropriately celebrating Thanksgiving by having turkeys in the yard. Now they really do it up big for Christmas and for Halloween that just passed. But it's good to see some Thanksgiving cheer out here. Look at Mickey over there, says Happy Thanksgiving. Minnie over there with the Thanksgiving pumpkin. The turkeys, little gobble gobble. It's hard to ride a bike slow. Yeah, I love this house. They just really go all out for every single holiday. Love it. There's bike paths everywhere out here. A lot of them I haven't even conquered yet or gone through. I need to start doing more of that. I need to do a little more exploring of the bike paths of Celebration over time. I know that feeling. I certainly know that feeling. Getting that little brain freeze there by eating cold stuff a little too fast. Another Thanksgiving inflatable. This one's celebrating a little football. What do you know? They're little footballs. Oh, check it out, back downtown now. Even Starbucks has festooned their Christmas lights up. And like I said, they're building the fake gingerbread house over here. You can see it starting to formulate as well. It almost smells like they've added some fresh chlorine in the fountain here. I would just assume that's what I'm smelling in the fountain, the fresh chlorine. Must be a chlorinated fountain. Definitely not lake water. The tree is not lit up yet. They're not lighting up. They're doing an official tree lighting ceremony later in the month, later at the end of November. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.